Bonjour, Kinamagi Nene Ireland Indigenous, and welcome to today's episode of My Math. Today we'll be looking at Chapter 1, Lesson 6. Today's lesson will be featuring place value through thousandths. The essential question in this chapter remains, how does the position of a digit in a number relate to its value? Let's do our quick check. What I'm going to ask you to do is either grab a dry erase board, scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to ask you to pause the video and write the answers to these 5 problems. What is each fraction as a decimal? Then I'm going to ask you to unpause the video and come back and join me. Go ahead and pause it now. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. Bringing up the answers here, we see that we have 67 hundredths. There are 2 zeros, 2 decimal places. 4 tenths, 1 0, 1 decimal place. 14 thousandths, 3 zeros, 3 decimal places, so we had to annex this 0. 26 hundredths, 2 zeros, 2 decimal places. 3 1,000ths. We have a 3. There are 3 decimal places, so I need 3 zeros, so I need 3 decimal places. I have a 3 there. Annex 2 zeros so that I can have 0 0 3. That's a whole lot of 3 right there. If you had any trouble with those, make sure that you seek me out during class, office hours, or if you can, when you catch me during one of our live streams. I'm happy to help you out. So how do we write 15 and 803 thousandths in expanded form and word form? So let's grab my annotation tool here. And I'm going to start it right here in word form. So I'm going to write 15 because that is my whole numbers. And then I'm going to put and. And then I look here and I have the number 803. I literally just write that. And then I look and I say, okay, there was 3 decimal spots, so tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Make sure I have the THS at the end. And now I've written 15 and 803 thousandths. That's the word form. Let's do the expanded form, which will be a little more challenging. So first we get into the tens place, and I have a 1 times 10 plus, now we get the ones place, and so there's 5 times 1 plus, and this is where I start using these here so that we can kind of tell when we're in the into the fractions. I have it 8 times 1 over 10, because we're in the tens place, plus, there is nothing in the hundredths place, so we go right into the 3 in the thousandths place, so I'm going to write 1 over 1,000. So now I have 15 and 803. There I go. Open your packets to page 43. It's where lesson 6, place value through thousandths, begins. And it starts out a decimal can be greater than 1. For example, 1.5 is actually greater than 1. It's $1.50. All right, so example basic for 1. 5 tree taps produce enough maple sap to make 1 gallon or about 3.79 liters of syrup. Read and write the number of liters in word form. So I'm going to go and use my annotation tool. And I'm going to put it right through the middle of here. There's a 3 in the ones place. Now we go to the decimal point. There's a 7 in the tens place. And a 9 in the hundredths place. Look at that, 3.79. Already have it in our place value chart. Step 2, the value of the last digit 9 is what? Oh, there's a 0, and then it's not in the tens place, so I need another 0. It's a 9 in the hundreds, so it's worth 0.09, 9 hundredths. Use the word and for any decimal point. So word form, 3 and 79 what? Look here, see where the last spot is? It was in the hundredths column. Hundredths. Now, if this gets over here, we're in the 100,000ths, you'd write 100,000ths. So using that place value chart makes your life easier. Hopefully you're pretty good at using it. I'm going to clear this and let's move on to example niche. Circle the digit in the thousandths place, then write the value of the digit. So let me get my annotation tool here and let's get a smaller drawing. Let's count here. Tenths, hundreds, thousands. The thousands place is blank places to the right of the decimal. Well, it's 3. I can count them. Tenths, hundreds, thousands. So the digit has a value of 7 thousandths. So I would read it. 2 tenths, 4 hundredths, 7 thousandths. So now we'll turn the page here. Example in this way. Let's clear this out. Write 5 and 614 thousandths in standard form and expanded form. I'm going to get my annotation tool again. And I have a 5 in my ones place. I have a 6 and 600. Look a little neater. There's a 14, so it's a 1 and a 4. So my standard form is 5.614. So 5 is in the, let's grab this tool here. Ones place, it's a whole number. 6 is in the tenths. Notice we don't have a ones place, we just go right to the tenths. 1 is in the hundredths place. And 4 is in the thousandths place. Hopefully you have this all written in. If you need to pause the video in order to write this in and then come back, feel free to do such. Well, let's look at the expanded form. So I have 5 times 1 plus 6 times 1/10, that's how you write tenths, plus 1 times 100 in the hundreds place, plus 4 times 1,000. So as I clear these out and close it, you can, and scroll down, you can see that we have the 5, the 6, the 1, and the 4. And once I get into, we're in parentheses, that's where we're dealing with a decimal. All right, let's go ahead and try some problems on your own. Well, first, the guided practice. Circle the digit in the tenths place, and then the hundreds place. Again, I'll grab my annotation tool. Tenths place is the first one to the right of the decimal. There's that. And then the hundreds place, tenths, hundreds. There we go. Should look pretty good to you. All right, write each number in standard form. I want you to go ahead and do 3, 4, and 5, and then pause the video, and then unpause the video and come back and join me to check your answer. Go ahead and pause it now. Welcome back. So 5 and 87 hundredths. So if we have the 5, and tells me it's a decimal place, and 87 hundredths, 2 zeros in the 100, 2 decimal spots. Now I have my 2, my 6, Again, these are this 10, the 1, the 10th, the 100th, the 1,000. Those are telling me my place value. So 2, 6, 9, 1, 4. And then 19.4 in expanded form. I have my 1, my 9, and my 4. 19 4/10. Name an advantage of using 0.8 instead of 8/10. Have you ever used a calculator? You generally are going to be using it this way. A lot of our money system, it's easier to add, and you don't need to have always common denominators. So name the place of the highlighted digit, write the value of the digit, then write the value of the digit. So is it tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and then what is it worth? Go ahead and pause the video, do this, and then come back and join me. You may pause now. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. Second number from the to the right of the decimal, so it's hundredths, 0.07. First number, 0.5. Third number, so thousands, 0.002. Notice that if there's any space between the point, the decimal point, and the digit, everything in between becomes a 0. Unless there's nothing there, then you don't do that. So you see how this 6 became a 0, so 0.008, because we're in the thousandths place, hundreds place. Even though there's a 7 after it, we're looking at that place value only. Let's do some more. I'm going to go ahead and pop the screen here, write each one in standard form, so write it as a regular number. In a moment, I want you to pause the video, do this, and then come back and join me. You may pause the video now. Welcome back. Let's see what we got here. 13 and 9/10, 13.9. 50 and 600, so it should be 50.06. And then I have a 1 and a 1.923. 11 and 923 thousandths. Go a little further here. Still more standard form. Go ahead and pause the video when you're ready. Find the standard form, and then come back and check your answer. You may pause the video now. Welcome back. So I have a 7 times 10, so 70, plus 1.5, so 70.15. Sorry, 0.105. I apologize. I skipped that there was a hundredth. So we have 1.05, 0.105. 5 and 3 thousandths. So we have 5 whole, and just the 3 thousandths. And then a 6 and a 4, decimal point 418. You notice when I made the mistake, I went a little fast. Mistakes do happen, but the more that you slow down and double check your answers, the more likely you are to get it correct. All right, let's keep moving forward. Write an expanded word form. This will be the last one I want you to practice. Let's see. Go ahead and pause. Do this. Pause the video. Do this, and then come back and join me. Let me pause video now. Welcome back. There are no whole numbers, so we have a 9, the 1, and the 7. It's 917 thousandths. We're going to do one more problem. The table shows the amount of salt that remains when a cubic foot of water evaporates. Read each number that describes the amount of salt, then write each number in words. I have 2.2 pounds of salt out of a cubic foot and 1/100th of a pound. Read each number that describes and write each number in words. So go ahead and write those two numbers in words. Pause the video, unpause it when you're ready. You may pause now. Welcome back. So 2 and 2/10 and 1/100th. All right, so the next thing up for you guys is to do the homework on pages 47 and 48. We are reaching the end of the week, so make sure you're reaching out to me if you're having any struggles. You never want to go into a weekend unsure of something as we continue to build on our knowledge and grow our brains. When you have a moment, if you check in with me, you know my email, mireland@psychchipschool.net. You may hit me up on my Google Voice. Join us in office hours. I will be available for parts of the weekend to answer questions, but not the entire weekend. I hope you guys all have a good one, and I look forward to seeing some of you in class on Monday. Look forward to seeing how great your learning's going, and I hope you all have a great weekend. So, without further ado, have a minute of Gishigan and Bamapi.